right, guys, welcome back here to our Nosgoth broadcast. Of course, Alex joined by Corey here. We're talking about everything that's going on in the game, and you know, before the break, I said we're going to see something pretty cool. So as the game goes on, just keep your eyes out because something could be a little out of place. Now, I don't actually know how it's going to look, so they've been keeping me in the dark about this all day, which is actually not all that fair. So let's jump into the action. All right, so we are on Freepor, which is basically the map that everyone, if you played the alpha, you took part in. Really well made map, I must say. Well balanced, especially giving humans good cover and whatnot. And we're also seeing some hunter gameplay. Yep. So what should we expect here from these two teams?
I just saw something up there.
What is that?
I don't know what that is. So hopefully Alex's team, well, I guess they won the last round. So that is a different class that we haven't seen before.
Okay, what is that?
That is the Deceiver. It looks like, oh, you got saved. Man. So maybe we'll see what the Deceiver does in a second. Oh. But he is our 4th vampire class. You can see he's a little freaky looking. He doesn't run right.
Okay, so what is the Deceiver exactly? Like what
so he's a master of illusion, basically mental powers, projecting things like that. So if you see a human doing something a little odd, you might want to whack them with your crossbow to make sure they're not a Deceiver.
Okay.
There comes a Reaver.
Yeah, there comes a Reaver. And it's oh my goodness. That is not good. Okay. That
was a pretty good escape, though. I'll give him, that Alchemist looked pretty similar to the other one. Oh, God. It was a Deceiver.
Oh. So the Deceiver actually shares all the same traits, right?
So he basically takes the form of a teammate. So you can damage him, though, and you can see blood come out. So kind of like figuring out a spy in Team Fortress. If you think a guy's suspicious, you can kind of shoot at him and see if he's a bad guy. Okay. But you have to be alert enough to notice that something's a little off.
Now, the other question that I have about the Deceiver is that they also get the, the green hue around them as well, right?
So, yeah, so they look exactly like a team.
Oh my goodness, that is not fair.
There's no easy tell.
Why would you give that to me? That is something for me to worry about now. No. So, and now, what are some of the good counters for the Deceiver?
Well, pretty much any area of effect spell is going to make them take damage. So if you think, you can drop pretty much anything, and if they're a bad guy, they're going to get outed pretty quickly. And generally, pretty much anything. You can just shoot at them and see if they're bad. So.
And when they're in Deceiver mode, when they're in the illusion, I should say, and they're like taking the form of a team member. Can they shoot?
As soon as they attack or use an ability, the illusion will break.
Okay.
So, but what they like to do, so what we saw a little bit of, but hopefully we'll see again. They have a backstab move where they basically conjure this sort of spectral blade out of their arm, and if they land it on you from behind, you take triple damage.
Oh, and the Deceiver actually tried to get away.
Dead there. So what works really well as a Deceiver is to sneak up behind people and then trigger the backstab out of your disguise.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's going to be a fun class to play. I can't wait to
So what we haven't seen yet, he can actually conjure 2 copies of himself.
Okay.
Spawn 2 illusions that you can't tell from him. So that's a good escape move as a Deceiver is to... if you're in trouble, pop your illusions, and the humans don't know which one's real, and you can run away at that point. Oh, there they are!
Oh, wow!
They actually take a bit of damage. That was the real one, it looks like.
Wow! So now, what are the travel paths for the fake one? Like, is it going to just run in a straight line?
They pick a random enemy and chase them down, but they can climb walls just like any other vampire.
So they'll traverse.
Yeah, they can do anything a regular player can do.
Goodness, that's insane.
Right now, they don't deal damage. They're just illusions, but we're considering having them do damage. It seems a little overpowered right now, so we're not doing it. So keep it in our back pocket if he needs a buff.
Now, speaking of the balance, though, we actually see the score right now is 12-2. Oh my goodness, that just freaks me out.
Like seeing that was his backstab blade stuff for a moment there.
Oh man,
I think he's dead though.
Yeah. So score's actually tied right now, 12-12. Share with me some stats. I mean, because a lot of people are going to look at this and they're going to be like, "Oh, the vampire is that tyrant. He's so good." But obviously it all comes down to like the individual player.
Sure.
What have you seen? Of course, because you're the all-knowing, seeing eye. What have you seen in your time?
So the most interesting stat out of the entire alpha test is we look at everything from player performance to win-loss for teams, and we've seen across the entire alpha that vampires win about 50.5% of matches and humans win 49.5%, so extremely close.
What? That's crazy. Yeah. So that's for any of the naysayers out there.
Yeah.
That are like.
So vampires are not overpowered.
Yeah, they're not. They're not.
Or only by 0.5%.
Yeah, right. And watch, there's gonna be someone that pops up on like the Nosgoth Reddit, and he's gonna be like, that 0.5%. Well, it's not fair.
It's an ongoing. I think we want the game to be as balanced as possible. But it's going to be an ongoing process with this alpha and this beta. So.
Well, and when it goes out into the wild, people obviously are gonna react and do things different. So that's always going to be a crazy experience there. Now that you're kind of tossing new classes into that, it's really going to mix up the meta quite a bit.
Very much so. So
oh man,
that's something we look forward to continuing to expand the class roster to keep the meta game and overall strategy. So he's back with the knockdown bow.
I saw that, and that was a great shot.
That was Reaver's all over him.
Yeah.
So he just put down a trap. We haven't seen that too much, but the scout has a proximity. Oh, there's a deceiver. He's down.
Got the knockdown. I actually got the kill assist on that too. Tyrant was
there. Goes the trap. So the trap persists even if you die. It's proximity based, so it's spring loaded. If a vampire gets too close to it, it will explode and do a lot of damage and stun them. So a good strategy as a scout is to trap maybe like the entrance to this hallway. And if a vampire tries to come in and flank you, he'll take a bunch of damage and get stunned. There go a bunch of deceiver copies.
Oh man, he doesn't know.
That was the real one. I think he guessed right.
That was a good one.
Yeah, you can see he just flipped over. So an interesting thing is
he changed it to him too, which I think is even funnier.
So what you were saying earlier, the downside to looking just like a human is they can see you through walls because you have that outline.
Okay.
So as a deceiver, you have to be really aware of the fact that once you pop that disguise, the humans are going to know where you are.
Well, and usually it could be best to just pop it when you're in like a group, right?
Or at the last second, so they don't see an outline coming from across the map at them. So it counterbalances the ability a little bit.
Yep, and
there goes a Reaver.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, he missed the knockdown shot.
Yeah, and that's a great knife there.
Humans are up 4 right now.
And the kill too. That was actually a really great. Oh, the deceiver! No, get away!
He's down.
Oh man, that deceiver just pops up out of nowhere, and it looks crazy too.
He's pretty crazy looking.
So, have you guys when you came up with this idea, when you guys come up with a new class, how do you go about that?
It can be in a variety of ways. Sometimes we just want a new role for the game. Sometimes we just have an idea. The deceiver is actually one of the first classes we came up with because Dave and I both really wanted somebody that would sort of screw with you, show you things that aren't there, take over your controls. So one ability we're not showing today, but that he has, is called Dominate Mind, and what it actually lets you do is take over the target and run them away from their teammates.
Okay.
So we were big. He just disguised, I think. We were big fans of stuff like Eternal. He got the kill on the disguised deceiver.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that too, he popped the disguise when he was getting shot at.
Yeah.
But sometimes
it works.
Yeah.
In chaos. Yeah.
Now, is there like a certain amount of
bow?
Great shot. Is there a certain amount of assistance with it, or because of course I come from a console background, so is there? It's nothing really changes when you're aiming over that person versus your teammates or anything like that. It's all just controlled by you.
Yeah, we have a little bit of not deceiver specific, but we do have a little bit of aim assistance with human shots in particular, just because it's so hard to hit vampires
because of the speed.
Yeah, so it's very weak, and we're looking at there have already been requests from players to turn it off, and obviously for esports there can be a motivation to not have any kind of aim assistance. So we'll definitely look at ways to disable that type of stuff for competitive player for people that don't want it. Oh,
interesting. Of course, it's always good to have that freedom.
Yeah.
Right, and that's always a positive. So now we're switching here,
right,
and we're gonna see deceiver gameplay. Yeah. And this should be fun. So let's see if our good friend Alex decides to jump to some deceiver. No, he's going to stick with the tyrant for right now.
Looks like it,
yeah. Yeah, safe bet, right? We'll probably switch to the deceiver midway through the match, though. Let's see why not.
Okay. So he's using an ability I really like called Marathon, which we've seen the tyrants charging around the map occasionally. Haven't seen it too much first person. Marathon's a cool variant that lets you go for much longer, as the name might imply, but it cools down much slower.
And you still charge through people.
Right. It's functionally very similar to charge. It just lets you go for pretty extreme distances, so you can pull off some pretty crazy skill shots running around the map. But you have to use it a little more tactically because you can't use it as often.
Okay. And
so see, he's covered quite a bit of ground there. He's going to stun and maybe get the kill if that's all it doesn't go off here. Yeah.
Yep, that was actually a great one.
There comes some grenades. He's in trouble. Ooh. There comes the ignore pain, so he's soaking up some damage for his teammates.
Yeah, and he's going to go on. No reason to really go on the chase there.
Right.
But he is actually going to.
He's going to pop his charge. Oh.
Bad call to make. Oh, there is someone there right next to him.
Had a little trouble, but he's gonna feast on these guys.
Yeah, because he definitely needs to.
Gotta pull this off before those bolts get on the corner. He got it. Here comes another marathon.
That marathon.
See how much range he's got.
Oh.
That's Bola. But so you see the ignore pain can actually break you out of Bola. So you can't attack while you're ignoring pain, but it will allow you to do things like climb or get away.
But there are different kinds of bolas too, though, right?
Yeah.
There's
so
like
what we just saw was
bola.
the poison.
Yeah.
So the poison bola actually does damage to people that you hit with it, but it doesn't last as long. So you
so
trade
it's like
off
hit you on
little,
the initial hit.
Right. It poisons them on impact. But so you're basically trading a little bit of control over the vampire for some guaranteed damage.
Okay. Okay.
So they're balanced, but just whether you prefer damage or disable.
Now, one question that I had was, have you guys considered, just out of curiosity, adding like a crosshair for the vampires?
We've looked at it. The problem is, it doesn't always. A crosshair is that's dangerous. You can't actually fall into the water to your death on this map if you leap out of down.
Maybe something to think about.
Yeah, we'll definitely look at the crosshair idea. With melee.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
The damage follows your arm, so it's not always going to be accurate to a crosshair. You do get a crosshair in aiming specific abilities like the pounce. You'll see when he charges the pounce, you do get a crosshair.
Yeah, you get that circle around, right?
If we have users asking for passive crosshair for melee as well, we can certainly add that.
Well, and I think that's, again, it just kind of like speaks to the flexibility that you guys have, going into this, and of course listening very much to the community. So I always think that's going to be a positive for a lot of the fans that are going to get into the game, and they're going to know that, like, hey, Psionics listens, which is pretty cool. So some more Tyrant gameplay here, and they just absolutely swarming over people.
Pretty ugly. Very close game though. It's 9-8. So
yeah,
we've been seeing a fairly one-sided view from Alex's point of view, but
yeah. Well, he's been performing, for the viewers. And there goes that marathon again. He's actually going to be able to hit. Oh, and in a corner too. Oh, and he gets kidnapped.
That guy's not happy right now.
So you can get kidnapped while being knocked on the floor.
Yeah. Well, if you're on the ground, you won't get snatched, but I believe he was actually midair at the instant he got kidnapped.
Oh, serious?
So that Sentinel got pretty lucky on the timing.
Wow.
We do try to, it's frustrating to get completely locked up the entire time you're being knocked down. So we give you a little bit of immunity and damage reduction when you're on your ass, basically.
Lying on the ground, it's like Humpty Dumpty. So it seems as if, again, that balance is coming into play here, but we're starting to see the humans kind of turtle up a little bit. Yeah. But every single time, like, they've
been able to break it.
Been able to get in there and make
especially
something
that
happen.
marathon charge.
Yeah.
But he just wasted it, so that scout's not paying attention.
Yeah. No call.
He's gone. I think they got him, yeah.
There they go. They got him.
There goes a shockwave.
Gonna change it up here. Oh, hop into the Deceiver. Okay, so we have, so since the game is early, obviously, in development.
Some temporary artwork.
There's temporary artwork, but what are the abilities here? So we have the Backstab.
It looked like he picked up Backstab, Dominate Mind instead of Disguise, and the Illusion. So we won't see him turning into a human this life, but if we're lucky, we'll see him taking over one and running them away from their team.
That should be pretty fun.
Really interesting. The first time you play it, he popped his illusions to distract him, it looks like.
It's a very weird looking.
Yeah, he's very intentionally creepy.
Yeah.
But we found it's a really cool experience the first time you're playing a Deceiver with this Dominate Mind ability, because you'll see your buddy just up and run out of the room that you're all camping, and it's very confusing.
All right, and he's trying to dominate.
It's a little bit out of range there, but you do have to charge it up. You can't just take over a guy in a split second. It's for balance reasons.
Oh, wow. And he actually was able to completely get that guy to think that he was going, oh man, this isn't good.
Kill. Backstab. So that was a front stab, so he doesn't do nearly as much damage.
But if he gets him from behind, what's the damage looking like?
About 600, which is 60% of a human's life approximately. So it's pretty nasty if you can pull it off.
Oh.
And the Reaver to finish it off.
Nice. Okay. So seeing some interesting gameplay out of here, I can see how the different combinations of classes can really work with the other classes here. So that's actually pretty cool, because I mean, like, we're people who play the alpha are so used to like, you know, the Reaver and the Tyrant.
So that's a
and,
whole new dimension.
yeah,
sure.
this really is different. And honestly, I'm just creeped out looking at him. He just bothers me.
Yeah.
You know?
It's pretty weird. Oh, he almost caught it.
I want to see this Dominate Mine happen.
The effects are not done for it yet, so you can see a little bit of rough around the edges.
And of course, because the game is still alpha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is always going to be that aspect to it. But I think, you know, people appreciate that.
There we go.
Oh, no! Oh, that is amazing.
So you can see it's a little jerky. We're working on the polish for this stuff, but he's completely neutralized this guy out of the fight.
And so the player just stays there.
You just get to watch yourself run away, basically. You can't do anything about it.
That is so messed up.
If your team does spot the deceiver, they can interrupt it, so it's not like you're totally... Oh, he anticipated the bola.
And he doesn't have anything to break out of the bola, so he's...
Not on this build. Oh, there's a grenade. He's toast.
Nice. That was actually a great play
Hoping
there.
to pick up Disguise here. It looks like it, yeah. It's going to take Disguise this time, so we'll see a little bit of it.
That Dominate Mind ability was awesome.
It's pretty sweet. We're hoping it's going to have some pretty cool effects here.
Yeah.
So he's just disguised. He turned into one of the hunters, it looks like. You do move at your normal vampire movement rate, so if humans are paying attention, then there's a really fast hunter running around.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the heat of battle, it's easy to overlook that type of stuff.
Okay, so no one's really spotted him yet.
No, he's sneaking up. He's going to probably try and backstab here.
Oh, yeah, he's going to... Oh, my God, he's going to get it. He's going to get it.
He's being a little obvious.
No.
Not well executed.
He had the chance, though. He had the chance.
He had his window. He's probably going to see his illusions. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, and the illusions, again, is just so distracting. You have to take that guess.
He's got his disguise back. Oh, he saw. Oh, she didn't see. He's probably going to go in for the backstab here. Oh.
They didn't notice. I'm like an It's always funny. It's always funny to see someone go for something and then a sentinel just swoops by and then just takes you away. It's like, go for a ride. Woo!
He's gonna disguise if he's smart here. Oh, the backstab, he got it.
Oh, that was big.
There we go, a kill.
Nice. Oh, and
he was a pretty nasty execution. He kind of stabbed you to death with his fingers.
Yeah, that is just
pretty ugly.
I am just really bothered by how this character looks. This is just really disturbing.
Sending some copies out to scout, I guess.
Oh, wow.
You can burn, if humans mistake your copies, then maybe they'll use a cooldown and be without it for 30.
Oh, he's going to get this.
Nice one.
That was great.
He's got it. Oh no. He's in trouble.
40.
The firewall.
And so like an alchemist, like that's just like a default, right? Like resort straight to that firewall because that's going to give you, at least some kind of, because they have to get close. No matter what, they have to get close.
Yep. It's a very strong ability.
Yeah. And then now, is there like a burn damage as well?
Right. So you take damage. He's smart. He's going to follow that somewhere. You take damage every second that you're inside the firewall, but it also applies a damage over time burn to you.
I can't believe they did not see him transform.
Oh,
that was dirty.
Slick.
Oh man,
that was pretty slick.
They did not see him transform there. Well, then again, though, the other aspect to bear in mind is you can also just think that that's a respawn.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not careful. And there you have it. Vampires with the win.
Team 30 on both rounds.
That was pretty cool.
That was very close.
That was great. So big performance there out of Eric on the vampire side. 12-6.
12-6 is pretty good.
Yeah. That was pretty fun. I would have to say. I am not looking forward to playing against the Deceiver by any means, way, shape, or form.
You're gonna doubt your teammates a little bit.
So, of course, if you want more updates and everything like that, you can check out nosgoth.com, but also follow the Twitch channel, because if you follow the Twitch channel, there's a follow button like right above the screen there. If you follow it, you will get updates on when the stream not only goes live, but also they will be doing some beta giveaways as well, because the beta will be coming out pretty soon. Yeah, right? So for more updates on that, make sure you guys check out www.nosgoth.com. But for myself and everyone here at Psionic Studios here in San Diego, California, we'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.